Australian marsupial has a backwards facing pouch and hides in a burrow to escape the Australian desert heat? Well, we're gonna find out today on Kiki's Fun Animal Facts. Australia is the largest inhabited island and the smallest continent. Now, there are over 80% of mammals, frogs, and reptiles that are specifically known to Australia and nowhere else in the world. Now, the animal we're going to talk about today is our marsupial. Now, there are over 140 different marsupials on Australia, including koalas, kangaroos, wallabies, and the animal we're going to talk about today, the Southern Hairy Nosed Wombat. Marsupials are animals that have pouches on the outside of their bodies to help protect their babies from danger or anything else that might happen. Now, the marsupial that we're going to be talking about today is the Southern Hairy Nosed Wombat, just like my friend here. Now, Southern Hairy Nosed Wombats live on the southernmost part of Australia and the southeastern part of Western Australia. Now, these guys can live in places like open woodlands, savannas, sandy beaches, and any other place where they can really make their cool burrows. The places that they live can get an average rainfall from 8 to 20 inches a year. Now, the Southern Hairy Nosed Wombat's Latin name is Lasiorhinus latifrons, and they're part of the genus Wombatidae. Now, these guys can live to be up to 15 years old, but the oldest one in managed care lived to be 34. Now, here's a fun fact about wombats. Now that Kambura is showing off her backside, wombats have cube-shaped poops. They will poop in the shape of a cube. How cool is that? Now, wombats are nocturnal, which means that they sleep during the day and they come out at night. Now, when they come out at night, the weather is a lot cooler. Australian temperatures can get to be over 110 degrees. Now, at nighttime, when it cools down a little bit more, they'll come out of their burrows, and that's when they like to eat. Now, they like to eat grasses called balcara grasses, which is their favorite types of food. Now, when they do come out of their burrows and they eat the grasses, there can be a range of over 5 to 10 wombats in a single burrow with an equal ratio of male and female. Now, these burrows can stretch to be from 6 feet long to over 100 feet long. Now, these burrows are very complicated, and each burrow has its own separate room, just like you do in your house. Now, Southern Hairy Nosed Wombats do have predators such as the dog, foxes, and even wild dingoes. Now, another interesting fact about these guys is that they are marsupials, and as I said before, marsupials are mammals that have pouches in their bellies. These guys have backward-facing pouches, which means that their pouches open towards their bottoms, and they're closed off up in the stomach, which is very unusual for marsupials. Now, they do this because when they're digging in their little burrows, they don't want dirt going into the pouches and suffocating their babies. So their babies will pop their heads out from behind the moms, so they are safe when their moms are digging in their burrows. How cool is that? So here's a question for you. We learned a lot about marsupials today, but I got a question. Which marsupial is native to North America? Is it the possum, the skunk, or the raccoon. It's the possum. The possum is North America's native marsupial. They have pouches in their bellies that help to keep their newborn babies inside. Now, possum newborn babies are so small, you can fit 20 of them inside a tablespoon. Wombats can weigh up to 80 pounds and they can grow to be over 3 feet long. Now, they have bare pads on their feet that helps them with the energetic digging that they like to do to help burrow out their burrows. Now, when they do burrow their burrows, the dirt will fly behind them and outside of the burrow, and that's what helps them dig all the way through. Now, their pads are very hard and rough because they need to be able to get through the coarse sand. Now, in addition to how cool their fur can be dark gray, a brownish gray, and it can be very soft, sometimes giving them the name the soft-furred wombat. Now that you know more about the Southern Hairy Nosed Wombat, I hope you join me next week for our next animal on Kiki's Fun Animal Facts. And if you look down in the comment below, you're gonna see our joke that hints at the next animal. And that joke is, why was Superman surprised that his cat had superpowers? Because he thought he was just a mere cat. Anyway, join us next week as we discover the amazing adventures of the meerkat over there in Africa's desert. Thank you very much for joining. See you next week. Have a good one. Hi everybody. This week on our conservation charity shout out, our conservation of the week is going to the Adelaide Brookfield Conservation. Now, the Adelaide Brookfield Conservation is located in Blanchetown, South Australia, and it is home to grey kangaroos, red kangaroos, the fat-tailed dunnart, and the common dunnart, as well as our Southern Hairy Nosed Wombats. Now, you can make a donation if you go to the link located at the bottom of the description. Your donation will help the people that work there to help save and help maintain these amazing Australian animals. So thank you very much for joining me for the conservation shout out. Thank you very much for joining me on our Kiki's Fun Animal Facts. We'll see you next week. Bye.